it even has something to say about what happens to us when we die. And like religion, quantum mechanics isn't without controversy. Quantum mechanics is a wildly successful theory, but I've seen physicists get into literal shouting matches, arguing about what exactly quantum physics tells us about the way the universe works. Some say it paints a picture of infinite parallel universes. Some say it carves out a special place for consciousness in the laws of physics, and some say it describes a universe whose future is predetermined, in which our fates and futures were all sealed from the moment of the Big Bang itself. But any way you slice it, quantum mechanics is the natural extension of a story of human self-understanding that began tens of thousands of years ago. And when you think of it that way, isn't it a shame that I cheapened it by turning it into a party trick? Speaking of nerd parties, I should tell you about another one I attended a few months before that evening at Bob's. It was a packed 200-seat lecture hall in the University of Toronto's physics building. But we weren't there for a physics seminar. We were there to watch a Christian physicist with a cognac-smooth baritone talk about why science supposedly points to the existence of God. Let's call him Kirk, because that was also his real name. Kirk did not dig parallel universes, let me tell you. As far as he was concerned, the only sensible way of thinking about quantum mechanics was one that centered on human consciousness, and which just happened to fit neatly within his religious worldview. How convenient, I thought, getting all huffy in my seat, that the picture of quantum mechanics you find the most compelling just happens to reaffirm all your prior beliefs. I came home all wound up and ranty from Kirk's lecture, so I started leafing through textbooks and scrolling through Wikipedia pages to find counterarguments I could throw at him the next time he gave a talk. I went further and further down one rabbit hole after another trying to find my angle. But every time I thought I had something, a term that was being misused or a baseless claim, a bit more digging turned up a not-so-terrible justification. An hour turned into 2, then 3. Pretty soon, my girlfriend started to complain. It was time to throw in the towel. I learned 2 things from this experience. The first was that when you move in with someone, it immediately places a limit on the amount of pointless internet digging you can do before you find yourself sleeping on a couch. The second was that I have more in common with the Pope than I'd like to think. I thought of myself as a thoughtful physicist with an unusually good understanding of different perspectives on quantum mechanics. And yet, here I was, blindsided by the strength of an argument I'd written off as ludicrous because of the vibes it gave off. Don't get me wrong, I'm no quantum consciousness peddler. But I can't deny that the idea of consciousness as being a foundational element in physics is way less insane than most people realize, including most physicists. Quantum mechanics is like that. It forces us to reckon with possibilities that may at first seem like science fiction. It's led to one of the biggest shakeups of all time in our understanding of the world around us, and it exposes our preconceived notions, our egos, and the chaotic process by which we convince ourselves that we know what reality is all about. So, what does quantum mechanics say about the world? And what makes today the most exciting and uncertain time in all of human history for our understanding of reality? To answer those questions, we'll have to talk about the history of human self-understanding. In the beginning, there was the peanut. When was the last time you were angry with a peanut? If you're like most people, your answer will probably be, never. I like peanuts, and to be honest, I don't particularly understand why you're starting a book about quantum mechanics by talking about peanuts. I sympathize with you, but here's the thing. Peanuts are killing machines. Although researchers disagree on the exact figure, anywhere from dozens to hundreds of lives, usually children's, are lost to peanut allergies every year. Worse still, peanuts can be slipped on or produce hard-to-remove oil stains, and peanut fragments can get stuck between your teeth and ruin your entire afternoon. But despite all that, you've likely never been angry with a peanut. And neither have I. And the reason is that I don't think peanuts can be held responsible for their actions. They're perfectly innocent legumes. Today, almost everyone thinks of peanuts the same.